Hey, how is everybody? My name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. And today I want to talk about families, Some of you have already started rolling your eyes. Don't roll your eyes. And I want to talk about families, many different contexts. It's Christmas, so it's a time when families gather. Some of us are dreading the gathering. Some are going to enjoy the gathering. But I just wanted to feel like, let's talk about it and see what's the right attitude to have, towards gathering with family. First of all, I think the most scary thing that God was reminding me this morning about families, I watched something, I can't remember where, I watched something where somebody said that, I think they'd had a life and death experience. I think they were actually in Ethiopia. And they said that when they passed on, that the first person who met them was a member in their family. And that always makes me laugh, because some of you want to get rid of your family. Yeah. In heaven, the people who meet you, I think the grandmother met the person. They wanted to have a heart attack, I think, and say, what? This can be the person who caribishes me. Yeah. But so family is something, it's ordained by God. It's God's idea. And we have to learn how to live in families, although we rub each other sometimes the wrong way. I remember even Gatti at my ordination said, Pastor Angie rubbing everyone the wrong way, But I still have to interact with my family. I love my family. And it also came to mind today that God was telling me, I have family. I have them to fight with. That's first of all important, because I think Psalm 68 says that God sets the lonely in family. So there are people who have no family to fight with, or maybe circumstances have happened. People are not talking to each other. There's so much antagonism until it has created rifts. So number one, if you have a family, thank God you have a family. If your family is here, I was thinking about people who live away. I don't know, sometimes I have these thoughts. I was just driving and thinking, maybe somebody went to live in another country, and maybe they've been away for 10, 20, 30 years, and you really don't know what's happening in their lives. I would hate that to happen for me, because I'm so, want to, out there, she told me I'm the FBI and the CID, and I'm in her face. Yeah, what's happening today? Where are you? So it's so, and we don't know why some of those situations happen, but maybe you haven't seen a family member for a long time and you don't know what they're doing, what they're going through, I think what I'm trying to say is, if you have a family, be grateful, whatever family circumstances are there, try to work out things this Christmas, And like for me also, I've learned, if we step on this one's toes, this is going to be the eruption. So even me, I've learned to keep quiet. So I keep quiet, I enjoy them, I have a nice time with them. So even you, look, don't cause disruptions where they don't need to be disruptions. I think it would be important if you can even pray together as a family, if you can think about strongholds as a family, if you can have conversations that will not rile people up. I think it's an important time, because it's like there's a spirit, it's like it's a season where, I don't know, where we can be mellow, where we can be gentle, where we can talk, where we can progress as families. But family was God's idea, and He brought them together, and it's a good idea to love one another and to be really there for one another in this space, I don't think anybody can be there for you as family. And I've also been thinking, especially about death, and when life is coming to an end, nobody can be there for you like family, and you don't want to be in regret. And then there's something God has been making me do. He's been making me watch people who are older than me, a lot older than me, let's say in their 80s and even 90s, 70s, and tell him, one day that will be you, So be kind, be gentle. I think I even watched something somebody said, be kind, be gentle, understand that one day you're also going to get there where they are, where I think it's also a scary place, when people are getting to the age of, and maybe it's your parents right now, maybe the age of, 80. The Bible says if you live to 70, that is God's miracles, plus 10, he says, plus 10 is 80. So, that space, or maybe I'm just thinking between 70 and 80, people are thinking, gosh, how do they sleep? Do they know maybe tomorrow I'm not going to be here? Because you're old, you're 80 or 90, what are their thoughts? So I've been trying to think, what are they thinking? How can I be better? How should I be there for them? How do I want to be treated when I'm 80, when I'm 70? How do I want to be how do I want people to engage with me? How do I want them to meet my needs? Because I think it's also, it looks like, the world is just moving on swiftly. And maybe you've done great and mighty things in your life, but, you're sort of slowing down. You probably don't have that energy, capacity. People maybe don't take you seriously. So I've been trying to take people seriously who are a lot older, listening to them, walking with them, praying with them, calling them every day, check how they're doing. So just, I don't know, that just came in there. So, just make sure that you're taking care of people, and don't believe, your life is just moving ahead swiftly. You've got too much to do, places to go, people to see. Yeah, one day, time is moving. As long as time is moving and you're celebrating our birthday, we're moving closer to the place when we will not be here, will not have a lot of strength, will not have a lot of, maybe not a lot to do, maybe you start feeling irrelevant. Is that the place where you started regretting things? So if you start thinking about things that you could probably regret when you're 80, begin to correct them now so that you don't regret those things. Looking after our bodies, praying that we're not in hospital, you know, that we're not sick, that we're well, and those kind of things are paid for, of course, and also looking after what you're eating. But, you know, also there are some things we have to eat because we don't know whether they'll be there. But let me read something I wrote here. It's at the chapter on family and the marketplace, and it says, God ordained marriage and family, and he refers to it as a mystery. All scripture is breathed and inspired by God, and a pattern of Jesus Christ in the church as his bride, that was marriage. But family involves parents, children, and there's much required from parents: stewardship, prayer over these children, calling these children, you know, and calling out their children, calling out their purpose, their potential, ensuring they're educated in line with God's purposes and will for them, teaching them values by observation, ensuring they are pure, protect and provide material support, give leadership and guidance, love and nurture, and the list is endless, yeah? We must balance family and the marketplace, ensure we give quality time to work in the marketplace, but also to our family, a healthy, workable, God-pleasing balance with everyone understanding their roles. And you see, this is the time that we also spend more time with your families. Let me see something that's also disturbed me. And maybe to annoy people out there, but it really disturbed me. I was at a place in Adi when I saw now families even drink together. Hey, man, that thing has really disturbed my head, you know. I was thinking, my goodness, you know, we never drank with our parents. Maybe that was a good thing. I can't imagine sitting down with my dad and mama to be catch by. No, I don't know. I'm feeling like there are a lot of gray areas that are not, murky areas that sort of need to be, what's the word? Like demarcated, you know. I don't know. After I can go out and have a drink, I can go and have a drink. And I was actually thinking, maybe even one day we'll sit and maybe over dinner or something, but not the kind of hardcore drinking that I'm seeing people do with their families. I don't think it's right at all. There's something off with that picture. So anyway, I've just said it. Anyway, back to my story. So it's time now. People have a lot more time to spend with each other. People go on holiday with one another. So I think what I'm trying to say is have peace. Be grateful that you have a family, because there are people who are in family circumstances which are not interesting. They're not nice, and that's not your portion. Appreciate your family. Appreciate that you have somebody to spend this Christmas season with. Appreciate that even you have the finances to have a holiday, or people have to make up to find creative ways to maybe use the money that they have to enjoy their holiday. Maybe you have a lot, so maybe you're going off to another country for a holiday. You know, just appreciate those things. You have to appreciate those things. And then you have to appreciate, I feel like it's just dropped in my spirit, that person is there. Because you see, the word of God says that it is appointed once for man to die. So at some point, probably that person will not be there. Even if they're 120, at some point, they will not be there. So you need to appreciate them because they're there, you know. Appreciate your parents, appreciate your siblings, appreciate your nephews, your nieces, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins. This is a time also to reflect. Look at who around you is the most lonely person. You know, is there an auntie and uncle who nobody cares for? Check for them, check on them, visit them, take some shopping to them, you know, sit with them. Sometimes we also throw money at situations. Sit. Give some time, talk, pray, find out and really care. What are they going through? How are they feeling? Are they okay over this Christmas period? Drive people out. One thing that really annoys me is also, it's dropped in my spirit, or when people are gathering and maybe some people came with a car, some people came by matatu, then everybody just gets in your car and you go. And you leave the ones who came by matatu. What are you thinking? Order a cab, you know, drop somebody home. Do something that's out of the ordinary. And I think something else what I want to say, that the first family worked in the Garden of Eden together with doing God's work, yeah? And he would visit them in the cool of the day to get an update and catch up on the day's events and their lives. This then would be ideal in the marketplace, families working together in purpose. And I think this is time that we start thinking, you know, we have chamas with other people. What about the family chama? You know, what can the family do together? These are people who are in your life. You know, they say blood is thicker than water. You know, what else? What can you do with them as a family? You know, even like for us, I remember my mom made us, she made us start meeting once a month, and it was like pulling teeth. It was the worst thing. But now it's so good because, first of all, the cousins have grown up knowing each other. They love one another. So we pray when they'll continue the tradition. Now it's become a tradition. We meet once a month, we gather, we speak, we eat, we black out, we watch TV, watch wedding show, we laugh, we go, we pray, we go home. So that has become a tradition that even our children now will become their tradition, just so that you grow closer together and you know what's happening in each other's lives. You can't know what's happening in everybody else's life, but you know what's happening in your own family's life. So I think that's what I wanted to say over this time of Christmas cheer. And then if you're out there, maybe this is what I should say. If you're out there, we said here that we have a responsibility to our children. And all of us, like now me, I'm somebody's child, and then I have a child. There are generations, people are there. So at some point, I'm a child, but I'm also at some point a parent. I think let's be responsible. Don't make harsh decisions where family is concerned. I told you, when you get to heaven, these are the first people who are going to meet you. Please, don't make very drastic decisions about family. Be able to talk, be able to speak to one another. If you can't, or maybe there's a big rift, I think that's what I'm trying to say. Heal rifts. Find somebody who can mediate between the two of you. But this season is a season of reconciliation, a season of forgiveness, a season of letting things go and not carrying burdens to do with people and what they did and who didn't do and who was right and who's not right. This is not the season. And then do not start any other fight. I mean, be conscious. Be conscious of what you could say that could cause a problem, and just don't get engaged. Don't get involved, and never take your family for granted. I'm also feeling, I don't know why there's the people who run away. You're so used to, you see, this is the one they're so used to running away at work or working that most offices shut down from the 20th. Yeah, so there'll be no excuse of work. If that's where you've been drowning yourself and hiding, no, you have to now come face to face with reality and make the peace that you need to make with family members, and be there. And don't make harsh decisions. I'm not going to spend time with my family. I'm not talking to this member of the family. This one, I'm kicking them out. Don't do things like that. Don't. And if you have, this is the time to rectify it. It's Christmas. It's a season of Jesus Christ's birth, where everybody's celebrating it. There's joy in the air and festivities. And you've got to involve everyone in the festivities. And remember, those who are brokenhearted, if you have somebody is lonely, maybe they're alone, reach out and, call them, do something with them, take a ride with them, have a meal with them, invite them into your home, begin to do those kind of things. And then family, I feel like we need to pray together. We really need to. And this is a good time. This is the time when everybody goes to church who has never gone to church the whole year. This is the only time they go to church. So make sure you choose the right church. Make sure you take them to church. Make sure you pray. Make sure you insist on some of these things, because this is a time for them to gather. And then also, I sense in my spirit, there's a time when teenagers or youth, they don't want to spend time with your family. No, make them. You see, there's a time when you have to be parents. Everyone, this is my house, my rules. As long as you're under this roof, everybody is together. I'll avoid those seasons of separation. Remember, I was telling you, I'm laughing because I say, hey, it's a good thing Althea has grown up now, because I can't deal with those children until you lock the door. I told you there'll be no door. There'll be no door. You will sleep outside in the stars. That's where your room will be. There's even be no boundary around you. You just sleep in the open space, But yeah, don't also be a parent. Be there with love. I think children need guidance. They need rules. They need to be told this is what is happening, and you put your foot down, and this is what is going on. And then get them to become closer to one another, because I think the society that we live in, we're no longer closer to our children. We're not close to one another. We don't discuss things. And like I said, that thing keeps dropping in my spirit, where you are always running away. Your solution has come through work, through working late, through putting all your energy there. No, you have to speak to one another. You have to speak to one another. And I pray that you're having date nights even as couples, because once the children grow, remember now already we're empty nesters us now. You have to be able to relate to one another, talk to one another, have a relationship beyond the children, and have an identity beyond being Mama Nani and Baba Nani. There's the time for also you guys to get close and to talk about real things, and maybe things that you haven't talked about as a couple for a long time. Maybe you just discuss your children, discuss the maid, discuss school fees, Maybe there are things you need to step back and realize, hey, what do people who love one another speak about? And get into those conversations. Go watch a movie, go have dinner together, talk about engaging conversations that you normally don't engage in. Take the person to the salon, take them shopping. Just do something that's even just about the two of you. It cannot just be Mama Nani, Baba Nani, family. There's the place of the family, but there's also the place of the two of you, and making that relationship stronger. And something I heard the other day, I was very impressed with that. I think it was Daniel Macau I heard say that he dates his children. So he'll date each child as an individual, which is very amazing because you see, remember children, middle children have all sorts of issues, and your children are individuals, maybe they're comparing themselves to one another, which they shouldn't. So like even during this Christmas period, take one child out, spend time with that child, take the other one out, then of course you'll also all go out together as a family. But I think that was wisdom because children have different characters, different personalities, and you need to get to know them as individuals. So he'll take out one son, they go and hang out. Next time he takes out this one, they hang out, just so that they also have that personal me time, you know, and talk about things that maybe nobody else is talking about. And I think I'll also say this, that sometimes, especially I think all of us, maybe mothers and daughters and also fathers and sons, there are things that we don't talk about because we think it's embarrassing to talk about them. You must talk about them because you don't want somebody else to talk about those things to your children. You need to be the one who has those, to engage in those conversations, because I guess life is happening to them, and also get their ear. You know, there's a time now to have conversations, you know. Another thing I learned this year is that you should make, and maybe you should just do it over this Christmas period or over this holiday season, where your house is a gadget-free zone. No phones, no Wi-Fi, no social media. Let's talk to each other. Sit down. No TV. Some people already, it's painful. Sit here. Talk to me, you know. What do you do? Who are your friends? What do you like? You know, just have conversations, get to know each other, play games, you know, do chess, or what is the other one, Pictionary, or play cards, you know. When we play cards, hey, my brother Kati, you have to watch him like a hawk, for bringing Jesus into the cards, dropping cards. I mean, do things that are engaging. I love even when the kids go like to shags, to shows. I mean, they just love it. They love being outdoor. The rules change. I don't know what it is with grandparents and children, because now you go there, people have not had a shower for 4 days. What do you mean? You first used to kill me, my mom, to go and shower. These ones have not showered for 4 days. Why? And they've been running around everywhere. You know, they're like, let the children be. Which was not the story for us, but it's the story for them. So just engage in activities, you know, and try not to. And whatever trouble there is over this Christmas period, please reconcile, forgive one another, talk. If it's going to help, if it's not going to help, just forgive, love. It's a season to be merry. It's a season of good cheer, you know. And don't always have the strongest relationships outside of your family, outside of your home. Seek this season to create bonds within your family that are strong, and seek to know what everybody is going through. And it's actually a bit sad because I've just thought about the people who have committed like suicide this year. Be on the lookout. You see, we can't have these families and people around us and God forbid, they kill themselves and we are there. Yeah, we can't. We have to talk. We have to talk. We have to know what's going on. We have to know what happens when people go behind closed doors. What is the sadness? What is making them unhappy? You know, what is going to solve their problems? And this is a bit of a controversial one, but please learn to give people in life and not in death. Maybe that's all I'll say. Because I'm amazed how people give in death. Yet, if you had given maybe that person in life, maybe that was the issue. Maybe it's money they needed. I don't know. But, you know, learn to give in life. So I'm not going to say about give money, give time, quality time, give interest, real interest, that you want to know what's going on in people's lives. Because people can tell you, if they tell you something in your eyes, your distance, you're not listening. Listen, be there, find out, how can you help? What can you do? How do you want to feel loved and appreciated? Why don't you feel loved and appreciated? What don't you like about our family? What do you like? Maybe it's good to do a SWOT analysis for this family season. What are our strengths as a family? What are our weaknesses as a family? And remember, you're releasing the weaknesses so that you can form strategies to make them better. What opportunities do we have as a family, and what is threatening us as a family? Very good. So we sit down and we do that, you know, and we give presents. Of course, it's a season of giving and a season of love. And I think I'm going to do a video on comparisons, but don't compare, you know. If one appears with a guzzler, the other one came by bus, the other one came by bicycle, we're all family. First things first is we're family. Stop comparing yourself to who has what and who did what, and we are family. That's what connects us, and that's what makes us come. Pray that in this season that you really have an awesome time as families, and that God really, truly blesses you with His love, gives you with His grace and His presence. My name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie, and have happy families. And seek reconciliation. Pick up the phone, go visit people, go reconcile with anyone that you're not in good terms with over this Christmas season. God bless you. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.